The environment is absolutely critical to our long-term strategy for prosperity here. If we're undercutting our environment and the natural assets that we have that have given us prosperity all these years, then we are going to be undercutting the county's ability to prosper in the future. So I think the article that you cite and the report that came out of Stony Brook is critically important in terms of raising an issue that hasn't gotten enough attention, and that is the damage caused by waste and the fact that septic systems are not doing the job necessary to deal with that environmental issue. And it's an issue I've talked a lot about in Babylon, actually. And I think one of the first things that we need to do there is to figure out a way to make sure that during the process of buying homes, people have a way to understand their septic system. Because right now, a big part of the problem is people have no idea about their septic systems, how they function, what their lifespan is, how they need to be maintained. When you go to buy a home here, everybody knows how old the roof is. Everybody knows how old the boiler is. Nobody knows a thing about the septic systems. And the reality is that you have tens of thousands of systems, undoubtedly, that are past their lifespan, that are not functioning correctly, that are not operating correctly, that are all significantly causing damage to our environment. So I think one of the first things we need to do is to create a way that at the time people are making decisions about buying homes, that they understand, you know, a septic system lasts 25 years approximately before it starts to fail. It's like a roof may last 25 years before you may need to expect it. So if you're going to buy a home that has a 20-year-old septic system, you need to understand that, oh, I'm probably going to have to replace that system over the next few years. That information is not out there currently. And I think there are ways that we can help make that happen, because we know there is significant environmental damage that is happening. The other thing I proposed in Babylon was for people in high water table areas that we do something similar to our Green Homes program, where we're helping residents make their homes energy efficient, that people that are constantly pumping out because their septics are failing, or they don't even have septics, they have cesspools, they have older systems, that we upfront the money to help replace and put in new systems, and they pay back over time, essentially with the savings they're getting from not having to pump out their septic system so frequently. So there, I think, are ways that we can move forward. And then we need to be immediately, but we need to be looking at the bigger issues like new innovative technologies and, of course, also sewering. That's a big issue for the county.
Yes, you know what? You make me feel very guilty because I have no idea how old my septic system is.
No, I don't mean to put any guilt on you.
My goodness gracious. I'm going to run home.
No, it's people
find the former owner wherever.
It's not your fault, right? Yeah, no, people have no idea. They don't have any idea until it is a problem, until you know the sewage is overflowing, and then damage has already been happening for a long time by that time, environmentally speaking.
I think this is going to have to be an issue that there's going to have to be a lot of research done to try to find ways to solve this, and I mean, and how do we get everybody involved in doing something?
Exactly, and how do we make progress right away? I would hate to see us be in a situation where we can't build a consensus and you know 10 years later we haven't made any progress on the issue, because it is something we need to start addressing soon.
Well, we're going to need your leadership on this kind of thing.
That's why I'm running.
Well, great. I'm glad to hear that. So tell us something more also about, I read on your website about creating green jobs.
Yes.
In what was called public land. Okay, I first of all would like a definition of public land, except I know that this studio is, I believe, public land.
Oh, is that right?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I think this whole area is owned as an industrial park.
Sure.
By East Hampton.
Yeah.
I believe.
You believe. So public land would be previously developed land that happens to be publicly owned, not park land, not preserved land, but previously improved land that is in public hands, and that is already off the tax rolls. One of the things that clearly we need to do as a region moving forward is create more high-paying jobs. We are a high-cost region, and we've been creating, unfortunately, many jobs that are lower-paying.
Right.
And that's not sustainable. It's one of the reasons that young people are moving to other regions of the country. So we need to create more high-paying jobs, and the thought is to create what we're calling these innovation zones. We have remarkable research institutions in our county. In fact, 3 institutions that are essentially centers of global innovation: Stony Brook University, Brookhaven National Laboratory, and Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, where there's an effort underway now under the leadership of Supervisor Lesko in Brookhaven and with the Long Island Association and Kevin Law through the Accelerate Long Island initiative to get those research institutions to work together to commercialize new scientific research. And the idea is to take those newly formed companies that could become the next Google or the next great thing in the country and have them be nurtured here so that we're creating those high-paying jobs locally and we can keep our young people here and grow our economy while at the same time not impacting taxing jurisdictions, because you're talking about land that's already off the tax rolls.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I mean, I know that there was a big thing about with Tim Bishop saving some jobs at Brookhaven to keep that
very important,
keep it running, and that is a very important issue. We also have our own local Southampton Stony Brook College, which is also beginning to develop an arts center, you know, such as SUNY Purchase has, which is also an arts center. And that looks like something that will, because our area is a very nice place for artists. You know, we have that wonderful light, and we also have a wonderful writing program there. And that is something that we would like to see developed.
I think that would be a great area and sector of the economy to help nourish and grow, without question. And I think we need to be looking at the things that, based on the assets we have, both educational and natural assets, to be targeting for growth. And I think the arts certainly is one of those areas that we are naturally, I think, in a position to attract artists and that sector of the economy.
Yes, well, I know that here in East Hampton, there's so many things that are going on that we're trying so desperately to maintain the quality of our life here.
Exactly.
You know, to have our preservation fund buying more open land so that we do have those magnificent vistas that, you know, take your breath away.
Right.
There are times if I drive around sometimes at 6, 7 o'clock, and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, look at this light. Look at this beautiful place. I mean, it really is an amazing
and the county has an important role to play in helping to preserve those vistas and those lands, without question.
We have in our own candidates running here on the Democratic ticket, Zach Cohen, Peter Van Slovic, and Sylvia Ogilvie. Both Peter and Sylvia were on the planning board, and Peter was also on the zoning board as well, and Zach has worked with the Preservation Fund and as well as the finance part of. So they also are very, very interested in doing the kinds of things you're talking about.
It's a great group of people, and we're, of course, running on the same ticket.
Right.
And they're people who understand the importance of planning and preservation, but at the same time understand efficiency and the need for government to be operating as efficiently as possible.
And also they understand that these problems are very complex.
Yes.
And, you know, I think I said it on another one of the shows that I did, was that there are no simple solutions to things. I mean, I don't know a simple solution to anything except maybe when I'm cooking a piece of chicken.
Yeah,
you know,
there are not. And anybody, be wary of any politician who tells you there is an easy answer to something.
These are very complex, but you have to do you have to do the research, you have to have the knowledge, you have to have the drive, and you have to have the vision and the goals.
That's right.
You know, to understand where are you going and what do you want to do.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think they are all candidates who possess those traits, and you know, I'm excited to be running with them.
Yes, and before we do finally finish, we also want to mention the fact that I have two grand girlies, and you have two very young children.
Yes, Katie and Molly.
And how old are they?
Katie is 3.5, and Molly just turned 2. So they are just, you know, the whole world to me, and I make sure every day that I have an opportunity to spend time with them and to play with them, and it's the greatest part of my life.
And also to make sure that you're going to make Suffolk County the premier place in the United States.
Well, you know,
for them to be
that's exactly right. You know, I want them, like every family does, every parent, every grandparent does, for their kids to be successful and have a great future. But I'd like them to have that great future here in Suffolk County, and I think I can help do that. And based on my experience in Babylon as an executive, running one of the largest governments in New York for the last 10 years, I think I'm in a position to help make a difference right from day one.
Well, that's great. That's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to you getting to that position so that we can go to bed at night and know that somebody is at the helm who has the same kind of vision for Suffolk County that we do, which is to keep it as beautiful and as well run and economically efficient, and allow businesses to flourish.
Right. Exactly.
So
we can do all those things.
I do thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Philip.
And
pleasure to be here.
Hope to see you again.
Absolutely.
I know I will.
Thank you.
And I know I'm going to vote for you too.
Thank you.